Space and identity theft, a big issue. Experts say the bad guys, the hackers, are light years ahead of the rest of us.
And this day and age, how do we protect ourselves at a time when the digital world is at work everywhere and maybe even gaining on us? Well, it's a topic being addressed right here in Illinois. We're talking about biometric information. For those of you who don't know, biometrics are personal identifiers that are uniquely yours. Some might say it's a social security number that God gave you, not the government. Once it's stolen, however, how do you get this biological information back? The answer? You can't.
Facial retinal scan, fingerprints, your manner of speech, your heartbeat, your gait as you walk.
That's what the tech world refers to as biometric information, a wonderful security resource and one that's getting more widely used when it comes to shopping, banking, traveling. It's all good unless it somehow gets into the wrong hands. Right now, the FBI has the largest biometric database in the United States. Facebook owns the largest database of facial recognition in the world. But if their storage databases were to get hacked, like the Office of Personnel Management did in 2014, millions of people's most personal information is on the line. And it's out there for the wrong people to see, to use, and to abuse. Over 5 million fingerprints were stolen in the OPM breach, over 20 million people's personal information exposed. Initially, for companies like Google and Facebook, the facial recognition technology, scanning and identifying photos, was billed as fun.
What happens when that fun suddenly ends? When someone has retrieved that information inappropriately and now are using it in some way to take over your identity.
Paranoid? Maybe, but it's possible. Here in Illinois, the Biometric Information Privacy Act has been in place since 2008. Mr. Dinizulu, a Chicago lawyer, fears it could be going away when Illinois is one of only 2 states with any sort of extra layer of security to protect consumers when it comes to a breach with biometrics.
And the big risk is really identity theft. That's really it.
State Senator Terry Link has made efforts to get the current law amended. Laws that were put on the books initially to protect consumers in the end. Protections include material must be destroyed after 3 years without use. The information can't be sold or traded. These are just to name a few. Protections or no protections, what's at stake in the end? Your privacy.
I do agree that privacy is the last thing we have.
It's not just what's happened today, it's what will happen or possibly happen tomorrow.
So how's it being stored? How's it being used? Who has access to that kind of sensitive information? Those are the very questions consumers should be asking of the private companies and the government agencies gathering our biometrics. As for the legislation, published reports say it's on hold right now. State Senator Terry Link did not respond to any of our calls or emails. As for the people at Google and Facebook, neither did they.
At least it's on the legislative radar, though, and because legitimate organizations have this stuff. And if it gets to the wrong people, right, it's terrifying.
And the legislation in place, perhaps for all the right reasons years ago, but everybody says we just don't know where tomorrow is going to take us. Is it worth getting rid of now? We'll see.
Great story. Thanks, Julie. Got to get some breaking news.